Why is it okay to slam all men?
I'm going to assume that you're asking genuinely, and I'm going to respond genuinely. But this question seems to be at the root of every men's rights activist who don't like women, don't support women. They just want to know why it's all men, and they never really want to listen. But if you can listen and learn, you might become a better person. The first thing you have to do is acknowledge the existence of systemic misogyny, of the patriarchy, of toxic masculinity, and of male privilege. Now, you might be looking at your life and thinking, my life is a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit, everything's shit, why do I have privilege? How do I have privilege? It's not about you as an individual, it's about men in general. We get treated differently by the world than women do. And so we have to acknowledge that and understand that. And then it does mean, yes, the patriarchy and toxic masculinity hurts a lot of men too. It supports the really shitty men, but it hurts a lot of men too. So that is something that exists. So that if we can acknowledge that and get to that point and say, okay, yes, I agree that exists, then we can talk about all men. If you can't agree to that, then you're a lost cause. So it has to be all men, because we are the root of the entire problem at the same time that we are also the source of the solution. And even if you're just a great guy who just kind of, just goes along with life and just goes with the flow, and you're just nice to people, but you're not actively standing up against systemic misogyny, you're not actively standing up against the patriarchy, against toxic masculinity, then you are still part of the problem. Because you're contributing to just the flow of society, and we're trying to stop the flow. We're trying to get actual equality and equity for everyone, including marginalized and oppressed groups. So it has to be all men, because we have to stand up. We have to fix this. We have to call out shitty men, both in public and in private. We have to support marginalized and oppressed groups. And we have to understand and accept our privilege in doing all of this. See, and so that's the thing, is we are the oppressors. We are the problem. We have to change our behavior collectively. And another point that I want to make is, in a lot of these videos that are made on TikTok, nobody ever says all men. They say, men, stop doing this. Men, stop doing this. Men, do better. Nobody ever says all men. They say men. And actually, the implied grammatical, the grammatical implication would be that we're talking about men who do these things, stop doing this. But if you get defensive hearing the word men and immediately say, oh, well, not all men, you're telling on yourself. And that's something you should work on personally, because that's an issue with you. But overall, it is all men. And if we can acknowledge that, we can become better people, better human beings, better men. And I hope that you're able to go along on that journey. And this is Bacon.